We begin today in Lafayette, where police say 2 men have been arrested in connection to the death of 18-year-old Gabriella Sharp. This comes after police say Sharp was found dead at a local convenience store on Friday.
News 10's Kai Price joins us live from where authorities located Sharp unresponsive. He joins us with the latest. Kai?
Hey, Trevor and Lydia. I'm here near Racetrack where authorities tell me they found Sharp unresponsive on Friday. Now, Lafayette police tells me 18-year-old Kaden Richard and 19-year-old Jaquan Pierre were charged with sexual battery and video voyeurism in connection to Sharp's death.
At this point, there is no reason to believe that they had anything to do with her death.
These arrests come after Lafayette police say they were called to a local convenience store on Friday about reports of Sharp being unresponsive. Officers and paramedics attempted life-saving measures but were unsuccessful. Some comments on her death include Gabriella's mother saying, quote, "My gorgeous girl, I can't put rest in peace. I don't know what to do or to say. I love you forever and will miss you till I'm with you." Another comment says, quote, "Our deepest condolences to the family and friends of AHS student Gabriella Sharp. Rest in peace." Corporal Ashley Wood with Lafayette police says Gabriella was downtown with friends when she met the suspects Richard and Pierre and went back to their residence.
While at the residence with her friend and the boys, she experienced some kind of medical issue, which led her friend to call her mother. It's likely that they believe that she just had too much to drink.
Wood says this is when her friends and the suspects met her mother at the racetrack, where Sharp was unresponsive. Police say a video circulating on social media led to charges of video voyeurism and sexual battery against the suspects.
We are still waiting on the full tox report, but everything that we're seeing, there was nothing in her autopsy that showed a homicide occurred.
Now, Richard and Pierre surrendered to Lafayette Parish authorities on Tuesday, but were both released on a $15,000 bond. The incident is still under investigation. Live in Lafayette, Kai Price, KLFY News 10.
Homecoming night in Lafayette, Louisiana. Students were celebrating. The football game had just ended. Cameras flashing, friends laughing. But by 3:40 in the morning, an 18-year-old girl was lying unresponsive at a gas station. Her name was Gabriella Sharp. Paramedics tried everything they could. CPR, medical equipment. Every second mattered. Officers and first responders did what they are trained to do. They worked quickly, trying to bring her back. But nothing worked. Gabriella Sharp was pronounced dead right there in the parking lot, and her mother arrived just in time to watch it happen. 4 days later, a video began spreading across the internet. A video showing 2 young men assaulting Gabriella while she was unconscious. They recorded it, they showed it off, and when they were eventually arrested, police charged them, but not for her death. So the question that started spreading across Lafayette was simple. What really happened to Gabriella Sharp? Because the night she died was supposed to be one of the happiest nights of her senior year. Moving on, Gabriella Sharp was 18 years old, a senior at Acadiana High School in Lafayette, Louisiana. People who knew her say she had a warm personality, the kind of person who could walk into a room and make people feel comfortable almost instantly. Hair and makeup were more than just hobbies for her. Gabriella loved the process of helping people feel confident. She dreamed of becoming a beautician one day. Friends say she had real talent with it too. Styling hair, doing makeup, learning new techniques. That was something she genuinely enjoyed. And like a lot of teenagers in their final year of high school, she was looking ahead to what came next. Graduation, career plans, life outside of school. Lafayette itself is a city where people tend to know each other. It sits about 2 hours west of New Orleans and has a population of around 100,000 people. It's the kind of place where school sports bring the community together, and families often grow up knowing each other for years. Acadiana High School reflects that environment. Over 1,000 students attend the school, but people still describe it as having that small community atmosphere. Senior year is usually a big moment for students there. Football games under the lights, homecoming celebrations, pictures with friends before the dance, all the traditions that come with finishing high school. Gabriella was excited for those things. Friends say she enjoyed being around people and staying active in her community. She babysat for families. She helped out where she could. And she stayed involved with church activities too. But her family had already gone through deep loss before this. Gabriella was the middle child in her family. Years earlier, her younger brother had died from cancer when he was just 5 years old. That kind of loss never really leaves a family. Her mother had already experienced the unimaginable once before, burying a child, and now, without knowing it yet, she was about to face that pain again. Family friend Haley Matthews later spoke about the heartbreak the family was dealing with. She said, "Seeing her mom lose another child breaks my heart. Any family would want justice, and we just want to know what happened." Those words captured how many people in the community felt, because Gabriella Sharp had plans for her future. She deserved the chance to follow those dreams. But that future stopped in the early hours of November 1st. Moving on. That Friday was homecoming night at Acadiana High School. For students, homecoming is usually one of the biggest nights of the year. The football game, the crowds, the music. Friends meeting up before and after the game. Gabriella was there like many other students, dressed up, spending time with friends, taking photos, enjoying the atmosphere. Nothing about the evening suggested how it would end. After the game wrapped up, groups of students headed out to different gatherings around the city. Some went to restaurants, others went to after parties. Gabriella and her friends were part of that crowd moving through the night. At some point after the game, they ended up at a house party on the north side of Lafayette. Several young people were there, music playing, people hanging out. The kind of environment that can feel exciting when you're young and surrounded by friends. According to investigators, alcohol was being consumed that night. Gabriella had been out with friends downtown earlier as well. Somewhere during the night, she met two young men. Their names were Kaden Richard, 18 years old, and Jaquan Pierre, 19 years old. Police say Gabriella, along with a friend, eventually went with them to a residence. Exactly how that decision happened is still unclear. But what investigators later confirmed is that Gabriella had consumed too much alcohol. At some point inside that residence, she became unconscious. And while she was unconscious, something happened that would later shock the entire community. According to investigators, Gabriella was sexually assaulted. Even worse, the assault was recorded on video. Police later described footage where Gabriella appeared slumped over and unresponsive while one of the men assaulted her. Another man was seen recording the scene. At one point in this video, investigators say he even showed off his watch to the camera. Like, let that sink in for a moment. While an unconscious young woman is being violated, someone decides to record it and treat it like something worth showing off. Make it make sense. Investigators later confirmed that the video was recorded after Gabriella and a friend had met the two men earlier in the night. And according to police, that wasn't the only disturbing part. After the assault, the two men reportedly went live on social media talking about their night. But the next day, once news began spreading that Gabriella had died, both men deleted their social media accounts. One clip that circulated later captured a statement where one of them said,
"Take consequences for that shit. All that shit was wrong. Was drunk. That shit was wrong as But as in for y'all saying and all that, man, they do that. Play like that, bro. The play like that."
Because while Gabriella was still at that residence, her friends started realizing something was wrong. Gabriella wasn't waking up. She complained that she felt like she was having a heart attack. Her friend became worried and decided to call Gabriella's mother. Imagine getting that phone call in the middle of the night. Your daughter needs help. You rush out to meet her. Gabriella's mother agreed to meet them at a racetrack gas station on West Congress Street. The plan was simple: pick her up and take her home. But when her mother arrived at that gas station, Gabriella was already unresponsive. Investigation. At 3:40 that morning, Lafayette police received a call about an unresponsive female at the racetrack gas station on West Congress Street. Officers were dispatched to the scene. When they arrived, they found Gabriella Sharp lying there, not breathing, not moving. Her friend was there, her mother had just arrived. Everyone was panicking. Officers immediately requested paramedics. Emergency responders began life-saving efforts. CPR medical equipment, everything they could attempt in that moment. But nothing worked. Gabriella Sharp was pronounced dead at the scene. For the officers and paramedics who responded that night, it was another tragic call. But for Gabriella's mother, it was the worst moment imaginable. She had rushed there, hoping to take her daughter home. Instead, she watched her child die in front of her. And in the hours that followed, investigators began trying to understand exactly what happened. At first, even basic information about the case was unclear. Initial reports from police mistakenly listed the victim as 21 years old. Later that day, the department corrected the information. She was 18. Her name was Gabriella Sharp, and she was a senior at Acadiana High School. Investigators knew Gabriella had been out with friends earlier in the night. They knew alcohol had been involved, and they knew that shortly before collapsing, she told friends she felt like she was having a heart attack. As the investigation continued, authorities began examining medical possibilities. News coverage reported that preliminary autopsy results suggested Gabriella may have died from an unspecified medical condition. Toxicology results were still pending at the time. Police also made something very clear. At that point in the investigation, they were not treating Gabriella's death as a homicide. One police statement explained, "The investigation is still ongoing. So at this point, there are no charges pending because at this point, it is not a homicide." For some people hearing that news, the explanation seemed straightforward. Maybe alcohol had simply taken a tragic toll, but then something else surfaced. A video. Moving on. Video revelation. The video began circulating online not long after Gabriella's death, and what it showed was disturbing. It showed Gabriella unconscious, and it showed two men sexually assaulting her. People who saw the footage were outraged. Word spread quickly across social media. Users began sharing posts accusing the men seen in the video of assaulting Gabriella while she was incapacitated. The names Kaden Richard and Jaquan Pierre began appearing across posts and comments. An anonymous account even tagged their Instagram profiles directly accusing them. Now the story was no longer just about a mysterious death. It had become something much bigger. 4 days after Gabriella died, both men surrendered to authorities. Kaden Richard, 18 years old. Jaquan Pierre, 19 years old. But the charges surprised many people. Richard was charged with sexual battery. Pierre was charged with video voyeurism. Both men were released on $15,000 bonds. And police stated something that quickly became the center of the controversy. Investigators said they had no evidence connecting the two men directly to Gabriella's death. According to the police statement, there was no indication the assault caused her to die. Authorities believed the cause of death was likely related to a medical condition, possibly alcohol poisoning. So while the two men faced charges for what they did while Gabriella was unconscious, they were not charged in connection with her death. And for many people in Lafayette, that explanation raised even more questions, because people kept asking the same thing. How do you separate what happened to her from what happened afterward? Make it make sense. Community response. As news spread, the Lafayette community began reacting almost immediately. Acadiana High School announced plans for a memorial honoring Gabriella. Counselors were made available for students who were struggling with the loss. The Lafayette Parish School System released a statement saying, "Our thoughts are with the family and friends of one of our students who passed away over the weekend." Students who knew Gabriella flooded social media with memories and photos, pictures of her smiling, laughing with friends, living the life of a teenager who was supposed to have years ahead of her. Fundraisers began appearing online to help the family with expenses. Community members offered prayers, support, and donations. A message posted on behalf of the family encouraged people to share their favorite memories of Gabriella. But the situation was made even more painful by how the story spread online. Graphic descriptions, rumors, people reposting pieces of the video. For Gabriella's family, every share became another reminder of what had happened. Gabriella's mother eventually posted a message that captured the grief she was facing. "My gorgeous girl, I can't put RIP. I don't know what to do or say. I love you forever and will miss you till I'm with you." Those words resonated with many people following the story, because losing a child is something no parent should ever have to face. And in Gabriella's mother's case, this wasn't the first time. Years earlier, she had already lost her youngest son to cancer. Now she was preparing to bury her daughter. Family friend Haley Matthews spoke publicly about the pain the family was enduring. She described the moment Gabriella's mother received the call, saying her daughter wasn't feeling well. The plan had been simple: meet at the gas station, bring her home. But when she arrived, Gabriella was already gone. Matthews said no mother should ever have to experience something like that. And across Lafayette, many people agreed, because Gabriella Sharp wasn't famous. She wasn't a public figure. She was just an 18-year-old girl with plans for her future, a student who should have been finishing her senior year, a young woman who wanted to become a beautician and build a life doing something she loved. Instead, her story became a tragedy that left a community searching for answers. So what can be taken from a case like this? For many people, it raised concerns about underage drinking and the dangers that can come with it. Others focused on the role social media played in spreading the video and amplifying the trauma for Gabriella's family. Because today, moments that once might have stayed private can instantly become viral. Phones come out, videos get recorded, and sometimes those videos end up causing even more damage. But beyond the debates and discussions, one fact remains. Gabriella Sharp was 18 years old. She had dreams, she had plans, she had people who loved her, and now her family is left, living with a loss that can never truly be repaired. Her story is a reminder that one night can change everything. A reminder that consent matters, that responsibility matters, and that every young life carries a future worth protecting. Gabriella Sharp deserved the chance to live that future. Instead, she became a name people across Lafayette will remember for a very different reason. Rest in peace, Gabriella Sharp. Thank you for watching this episode of Gridline Crimes. If you found this story interesting, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new case. Your support helps us continue bringing you real crime stories, detailed investigations, and gripping cases from around the world. Let me know your thoughts about this case in the comments below. And remember, the truth always leaves a trail. See you in the next episode of Gridline Crimes.